Welcome to the Solo Grind, where we shine a light on the raw and real journey of being a solo entrepreneur. I am Teresa, your guide on this adventure of going it alone, without a safety net and without the rule book. The grind is real, my friend, and so are the wins, the freedom, and the joy of building success on your own terms. I'm here to debunk the myths, share some laughs, and share what it takes to thrive as a go-getter, busy, doing it all entrepreneur. Being a solo entrepreneur can be tough, especially when it comes to making those big decisions. You know the ones I'm talking about. They're the decisions that keep you up at night, running through your mind with all of the what ifs and possibilities that might happen. When you're the one wearing all the hats, where do you go to for advice? Who do you turn to? If this hits home even just a little, stick around because I have got some thoughts on that. Hey there, welcome back to the Solo Grind. If you are new here, I am so glad you've joined us. For those of you just tuning in, I am Teresa Schloop, the founder and owner of Caffeine Creative, where we do everything from brand strategy to web design and digital marketing. I have been in the game since 2011, helping confident female entrepreneurs stand out rather than blend in. Now, to those of you who know me or have checked me out or my website, you might be thinking, Teresa, how are you a solo entrepreneur when you have a team? To which I will say, great question. I do have a team that I give credit to on my website because I have some amazing women who are on my side that help make my life easier. That being said, while I have people to take care of bookkeeping, graphic design, and the occasional admin work, 90 to 95% or more of my business is still managed by little old me. So that is why I still consider myself to be a solo entrepreneur. Yes, I hire things out because I don't like doing them, but I'm still pretty much a one woman show. And as an solo entrepreneur, I totally get the struggle of having to do it all. One minute you're the CEO making big picture decisions, and the next you're sorting through emails, tweaking your website, and managing social media. It is a lot. Am I right? And when you're juggling all of these roles, it can be pretty overwhelming to figure out where to go to for advice that actually helps. It is so easy to get caught up in the daily grind. You're making strategic decisions one minute, then deep in the weeds the next. You might be up late finishing a project that fell behind, only to wake up early to handle client inquiries or tweak your branding. It's empowering to know you can do it all, but man, is it also exhausting at times. And this is where having someone to bounce ideas off of becomes crucial. Advice is everywhere, my friend. Even my 86-year-old daddy has business advice to give, and he has never run or operated or launched a business of his own. So, who do you talk to when you need advice? I don't have to tell you that not all advice is created equal, and figuring out who to listen to and who to politely ignore can make a really big difference. So let's start off with the kind of advice you might want to take with a big old grain of salt. The first one that I want to mention is social media experts. If you get on social media, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook, to me, I think are the biggest culprits of this, you are going to see a ton of experts who spend all day long sharing opinions and dishing out advice. Some of them sound super confident and knowledgeable. But here's the thing, many of them don't actually run a profitable business. They're sharing advice they've read, heard, or maybe even just imagined without any real world experience to back it up. So, how do I know that? You're asking, I'm sure. I know this because the people who are really running successful businesses don't have time to be on social media all day long offering advice. They're busy, you know, actually running their business. Now, that's not to say there aren't successful people on social media who share their wisdom. There definitely are. And they're often very generous with what they share. So here's my rule of thumb to help weed out the real experts from the wannabes. Before you take advice from someone on social media, check out the life that they're actually living. Are they where you want to be? If they are living the life that you dream of or have the success that aligns with your current goals and values, then listen up and see what they have to say. But if they cannot back up their claims, then I say send them some love, some luck, and keep on scrolling. There is also a lot of unsolicited advice to navigate through, especially when you're a solo entrepreneur. And you know the kind of advice that I'm talking about. This is the advice that you didn't ask for, but somehow you end up getting it anyway. This could come from friends, family, or that well meaning neighbor who thinks they know best. They genuinely believe that they are helping, but if they are not aiming for the same dreams you have, why would you listen? Here's the deal. Their advice might come from a very loving place, and it might even be decent advice. But if their goals don't match yours, it's probably not going to help you reach your dreams. Like if you are trying to build an online empire or an online business, for example, but your uncle is telling you you should play it safe and stick with that traditional 9 to 5, that advice is not going to help you get where you're going. So why would you listen? And now this brings me to one of my absolute favorite concepts, and it's something that I personally have done for years, and that is actually building my own board of directors. This is something that I did not come up with on my own, actually. And to give credit where credit is due, this is advice that I took years ago when reading the book Mastering the 7 Decisions for Success by Andy Andrews. In his book, Andy encourages us to seek wisdom from those wiser than us. And when it comes to making big decisions in life, he suggests that you create your own board of directors to bounce those kind of decisions off of. Now, I'm not talking about an official board with people on your payroll. I mean a personal board of directors who that is full of people whose opinions are ones that you truly value and trust. Your board members don't have to be made up of people you know personally. They don't even need to know that they are on your board of directors. They just need to be people you admire, respect, and who are willing to share their wisdom with you. For example, when I am considering doing something new or outside of my comfort zone, I always talk to my best friend Crystal. She is amazing at spotting potential and possibilities, and she knows me better than anyone. Crystal has been my go to guide and my conscience in so many ways and so many areas of my life for a very long time because Crystal is always willing to listen, ask the tough questions, and keep it real. She's also not afraid to poke holes in my ideas and flat out tell me if I'm being stupid. We have that real, raw, loving relationship where we can just be candidly honest with each other. And that is why she is one of my favorite people. Now, on the flip side, if I am looking at doing something new and outside of my comfort zone, I am not going to ask my husband for advice. I love my husband and I value his opinion in other ways. But when it comes to venturing into new territory, that is just not where he shines. My husband doesn't like stepping out of his comfort zone. It's just not his thing. He is all about playing it safe, analyzing every option, and he rarely takes risks. Don't get me wrong, he is awesome. And when it comes to something where I think maybe it is a little too risky, or if it comes to the idea of questioning loyalty and integrity and things of that nature, he is my go to guy on my board of directors. But when it comes to trying something new, he's not the person that I turn to. The key here that I want to express is that knowing who to ask for advice on the situation is one of the secrets to creating that board of directors that is truly going to support you. All right, so who should be on your board? The key, first of all, is to find open, honest, and respectful people who align with your values. They have achieved the success you yourself are aiming for, and their lives mirror what you are trying to create. So take a moment to think about the people you admire. What qualities do they have that you respect the most? And what areas of your life could they help guide you in? If you're looking for a more solid framework on how to build your own board, I recommend checking out Andy Andrews' book, Mastering the 7 Decisions for Success. In it, he talks about creating your own personal board of directors, those trusted people who can offer advice and support in various areas of your life. This doesn't have to be a formal thing. And as I mentioned earlier, these people don't even need to know they're on your board. It's more about surrounding yourself with the voices that you trust and respect. And remember, don't limit this board to the people that you know personally. There are so many incredible resources out there: books, podcasts, courses, YouTube videos that can provide you with the guidance that you need. For instance, here, when it comes to me and my own personal money mindset, two of my financial board members are Jensen Zero and Denise Duffield Thomas. These are amazing women that I have never met and probably will never meet. But when my money mindset is off or my finances aren't where I want them to be, their books are my go to resources for the support that I need to shift things. All right. So now that we've got the idea of a board of directors and building your board of directors, I want to leave you with some action steps on how to build your board. Again, feel free to check out Andy Andrews' book, Mastering the 7 Decisions for Success, and I'll include that in the show notes here below. But I also thought I would take a few minutes just to share action steps with you that I think will be helpful and supportive. So, first step, number one, reflect on your needs. Think about the areas in your life and business where you need guidance. And maybe you don't need guidance today, but at some point you will. So, things such as finances, creativity, leadership, um, mindset, just overall general mindset. Think about those areas, anything that you feel you need support in. And then take a moment, and step number two, take a moment to identify your board members. Who do you admire? Whether you know them personally or not, what qualities do they have that could help you? What areas are they going to advise you on? Action step number three, diversify your board. Don't limit yourself. Again, just don't limit yourself to the people that you know personally. Include authors, speakers, and public figures whose work really resonates with you. And remember, you can draw from various sources for different aspects of your life. All right, number four, seek out mentorship. If there's someone you respect and admire, reach out and ask if they'd be willing to offer advice or mentorship. You might be surprised at how willing people are to help when they're asked. And number five, use your resources. Don't forget about the books, the podcasts, the courses that have inspired you in the past. Revisit these as often as you need to, because these are invaluable tools for expanding your knowledge and getting advice when you need it. All right, my friend, that is it for this week's episode. Remember, when it comes to getting advice, choose wisely. Surround yourself with people and resources that align with your goals, your values, and your dreams. Build your own board of directors to support this, whether they know you or not. And remember, you don't have to navigate this entrepreneurial journey alone. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of The Solo Grind. Join me next week in episode 4 with our very first guest, my best friend Crystal, who you've already heard so much about, where she and I are going to talk about the power of pivot. And I can tell you right now, there is no one who has mastered the art of pivoting when needed better than my friend Crystal. So, looking forward to seeing you then. Until then, have a fabulous week, and I cannot wait to connect with you again soon. Thanks for tuning in to the Solo Grind. I hope this episode brought you some inspiration and encouragement. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast, and feel free to share. For more tips and insights, visit caffeinecreative.io to check out my blog or explore the Creative Vault, my free course library. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to hear how this episode has helped you.